Hello and welcome to Same Here,
Me Too. This is our podcast,
where we open up the conversation about life and share our experiences. The raw, the real.
Don't forget the embarrassing.
Of course, and all the juicy tidbits of our lives.
Telling our stories and what we've learnt as young women in our 20s. Nothing is off limits. Giving you true life unfiltered.
The podcast that makes you realise you're not alone. Hello and welcome back to Same Here.
Me Too.
I'm your host Naomi.
And I'm your other host Cora.
What's
Hi. Welcome back everybody.
What's up?
How are you doing, Naomi?
I'm good. It's still crazy. It's the second week of launch, so it's still busy.
It's a busy week.
It's just busy. But it's the second week, so it'll settle down and be a lot more calm and back to normal.
Nice.
It's really interesting because I really like launches, but I also really dislike them. I feel like when you have a launch, all of the holes come surface, everything that you may have not realized isn't quite running as smoothly as it could suddenly appears, and you realize that that system actually needs to be a lot better, and you come up with all of these things that could be far more efficient. So
definitely
it's good, but it's also
laborious as well.
What about you?
My week has been good. I handed in my notice at work because I got a new job. Yay! I'm so excited to go.
I'm so thrilled for you.
Yeah,
thrilled for you.
It's obviously a new adventure, a new challenge. I'm just so excited because I've not done something like this before. So it's still in the marketing sector, but it's just definitely different for me. I've just realized. So I today when I was doing my makeup, it just wasn't
struggling
working.
At life.
Struggling today. I'm really tired, and so I've got these black marks all over my hand from where I was getting makeup caught, and so my eyeliner is it's like that. Like they say, oh, they're sisters, not twins. I'm like, they're not even sisters. They're second cousin twice removed. Like, for those listening, it's literally like you've got one tick going upward and one tick going to the side, and the thickness is one's really thick and one's really thin. Like, it's just not happening.
Look at me for a
today.
sec. No, straight on. Oh,
yeah, they're just not happening. So apologies for my terrible, atrocious eyeliner. People listening,
you're good.
You're lucky you're not seeing it. Sorry, but I got distracted then. But yes, I'm starting a new job. Very excited. It's a new challenge, new kind of next phase in my life. And because I've also recently moved house as well, it kind of feels
all happening.
It's all happening. I feel like new things. I'm on a new journey almost because I've moved house a few weeks ago. I'm now starting a new job, and it's just it's all very exciting. So that's been my week. So it's so hectic because I'm trying to close off all my projects. And write up a handover notes and get everything organized so when I do walk away, my team isn't going to be and they are a bit more. I'm not leaving them in the lurch a little bit, obviously. And so hectic couple of weeks, but no, it's very exciting too.
It is. I'm so thrilled. I know I have said this so many times, but I'm so excited that you have a new job. You've wanted one since the end of last year, and you said you'd have it you wanted to be out of your current job by the end of January.
Yes.
And
it did not happen.
It didn't happen. So now
to be out,
coming into the beginning of May, new chapter, it's very exciting.
It is very exciting, and it is obviously it does take a little time to do things, but I was very excited. And I'm also getting my hair done as well soon. Finally, we wanted to get that done for so long, but it's so because I'm going a different color. I'm getting balayage through my hair, so to do that, my hair, as you can tell, is very long, and so it costs, and it's also very thick, my hair. So it's one of those, dense, it's very dense. And so it's very expensive. It's I was looking at $500 upwards to get my hair done. So I'm finally getting that done, which I'm very excited about, which got us actually talking about our bodies and how we use them and what we do with them. What
that sounds so sus.
I just said it. I was like, that does sound, especially as I'm about to jump into the other thing is, so I think what I mean by that is things like getting your ears pierced, your hair colored done, getting tattoos, body modification, those things that people do to their bodies to feel a change in the life. Like, I feel like I've got a new change. I can finally get my hair done. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
And that's a new thing for me. But someone might, go get their ears pierced, or they might go get other body parts pierced.
Which we'll go into. So that's really what today's episode is about, is we want to talk about body modification, body art, piercings, tattoos, dyeing hair, all those things that, as Cora just said, we do to our bodies, that we do when we go through a breakup, when we have a change in our life, when we go into a new phase of our life, when we're unhappy, when we're happy. Like, there are so many reasons why we may choose to do something. And so we kind of wanted to touch on it because we come from complete opposites on this.
Oh, complete. Like, we're the same about a lot of things. This is the one thing we don't see eye to eye.
We're completely different. And it's not so much we don't see eye to eye. It's just more so like Cora has tattoos. Cora has her ears pierced. Cora has dyed her hair many different colors. I have not got any piercings on my body, not even my ears. I have no tattoos. And the only thing I've ever done to my hair is got highlights.
Ooh,
so like we thought it would be really cool to go into it and kind of see what our opinions are on it and talk about why I have chosen not to do any of it. Is there a massive reason? Is there not? And then also the meaning behind some of the things, like Cora's tattoos, they have a certain meaning, and how that really allows us to express ourselves as humans, all these different ways of body art, like using our body as art and allowing it to be part of our identity and how we express ourselves.
Absolutely. And I think that it's that expressing yourself. And for me, so when people say to me, why would you get a tattoo? Like, my dad hates tattoos.
Oh, really?
Oh, God. He completely hates them. And so he always looks at people, especially women who've got tattoos. Why would they do that to themselves? Why would they do that? And has an issue with it. So when I got my very first tattoo, my mum knew. My mum was helping me with the design of it and where I'm going to put it. And she was helping me with my other one. And she loves both my tattoos a bit, so much so that she was going to get one herself. My dad, on the other hand, when he found out or saw that I had a tattoo, he flipped a switch. Like, he was ramping and why would you do that?
Oh, was he really?
Oh, he went off at me. So
funny.
But even funnier, so my second tattoo I'd got done, and I'd been home. Sorry, completely segueing on what I was talking about. So go back to it. I'd gone home for the holidays, and I was staying with my parents, and I was in shorts. And so you can see my tattoo when I'm in shorts because it's on my ankle. And I was walking around, and my dad didn't say anything about it. I was like, oh, maybe he's okay with it now because it's my second one. He's probably, over it. And then we were at my auntie's having dinner, and my cousin's husband was like, oh, Cora, like, your new tattoo is so beautiful. I was like, oh, thanks. What? My dad freaked. When did you get that? No, what? And I was like, have you just realized I've got a second tattoo? I was like, Dad, I've been walking around the home in shorts. It's been exposed. You've just not. He never noticed it.
Oh,
he went off.
So funny.
And then my cousin came up. She was like, sorry, did he not know? Did I get in trouble? I'm like, no, you didn't get me in trouble. I just don't tell him. Like, it wasn't like I was hiding from him. I just choose not to tell him. And if he finds out, he finds out. Like, I have no issue with that. So I was like, oh no, it's fine. But he went off. He does not like them. But for me, when I got it, and I think, like you said, it's express yourself, but also I think it's showing who you are, your individuality. It's literally putting your individuality on display because you can't see our individuality.
Yeah.
We can't, it's a way we go, this is who I am and this is what I like. And it's a little bit of me on display that makes me smile or makes me feel like this or makes me feel a certain way. So I think it's very important, but I think there's so much bad rap on things like piercings, body modification, tattoos. Because in my dad's era, those type of things were, around like the grungy bike gang people and and you got like tramp stamps, and it was all a bit like
it's very much stereotype.
Under the world.
Stereotype. Very stereotype. And I think also sort of it was deemed like that's what the sailors had. It was lower class. Whereas now tattoos, like for us, we grew up, tattoos were just something you could do, like just like a piercing. And I think I agree with you, like it is a way to show your individuality, and it's an extension. I don't know if you'd agree, but in the way we dress, like we dress in a way that we express ourselves, and we all dress in certain ways because that's what makes us feel good. We enjoy the way we dress and all of that. So if we're getting piercings or if we're doing getting tattoos done, I would say it's an extension of that. It's an extension of how you express yourself, how you get to be that individual person who you are and show up as that person.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the same with your getting your hair color done. Like, you know, you start off, everyone cuts their hair short, long. We change our hair with the seasons, most people do. And some people won't. Some people won't ever touch their hair because they like being laid-high and they're happy with that. And some people, I want to be. And like, so now in this day and age, lots of people will go with crazy hair. They'll go to bright pink, or they'll go to silver, or, you know, neon purple, or whatever it is. And I think, you know, you look at people like hair like that and you're like, oh, that's really cool. I wouldn't have thought of doing something like that. And that's, you see their creativity. It's also a way, sorry. It's also a way of showing someone's creativity. And like I said, it is showing the personality extension to themselves. And also what I like about it is most people, there's a story there. Yeah. And I think, you know, in our lives, our whole life is a story pretty much. Like when I unfortunately lost a close dear friend or family friend a little while ago. And, you know, when I was at the funeral, they were talking about his life and his story. I'm like, God, it makes you stop and go, what would someone say at my eulogy? Like, you know, you do think about it. But it's a story. We live our lives in stories. It's how the ancient ancestors, you know, passed down the Dreamtime stories to us kids. It's how we know what things are and how, you know, life is. And so when you see someone with ear piercings or even nipple piercings or like any sort of piercings, like, oh, why did you get that done? Yeah. Or when did you get that done? And the same with your tattoos. It's like, oh, does it mean something? When did you get it done? Why did you get it done? And it's that story behind somebody. And then that's another way of getting a more firm understanding of that person's personality.
Yeah, getting a closer glimpse into who they are. Yeah. And I think it's really cool. Like it allows you to get to know someone on a deeper level. Absolutely. Rather than just face value.
Which I think a lot of us, is the whole don't judge a book by its cover. It is that, because obviously people judge. My dad judges a book by its cover. He didn't like tattoos. He judges them. But then when he got, like, he now doesn't, he loves them and doesn't mind them. Doesn't love them. He doesn't mind them.
Well, but when probably because they're permanent and they're not going anywhere.
But when he found out the story behind both my tattoos, and every time I got them, I think that made him feel better, because like, you've not just gone in and, because I know a lot of people go, I like tattoos, so I got it with none. And you're like, fair enough, that's all you. But for me, I've always wanted 2 tattoos in my life for two purposes, and when I got them, I was like, I'm done. I mean, life could change and I might think of something else, and I'm like, yeah, let's go for it. But I think, you know, it's that story and that meaning behind something, and, you know, you do get to learn more about someone when you go, oh, how have you got that done? And it's not just a case of going, oh, you got that done, cool, moving on. Yeah. You know them a bit better. But I mean, there's some wacky ones out there. So, Naomi, what is the wackiest piercing or kind of hair color, or what's the wackiest body modification you've seen?
Or that I've seen?
I can't say do because you have not done it. The wackiest one, highlighting my hair. Wow.
Crazy.
I was like 16.
I got bangs.
She gave me bangs. Do I get any Legally Blonde fans out there?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Okay, so craziest one that I have seen. I don't know if I've really like seen any crazy ones. Like, I've obviously nipple piercings. Yeah, that's probably the craziest one, like in terms of piercings that I've seen. Yeah. One that came up in conversation a couple of weeks ago when we all went out for dinner with friends was it you brought up the Prince Albert? Is that what it's called?
I think I did. I don't know why. I don't know how it came up in conversation. Oh, yeah. No, funnily enough, Nick's, what's her name?
Mallory
saw my tattoo and was like, oh, that's a really nice tattoo. I was like, yeah. Like, and we were talking about that, and that's actually how this conversation all came out as well. Yes. So yeah.
So we were talking about it. I remember it took me a moment because I didn't know what it was at first. When I found out what it was, if you don't know what it is, Google it. I cringed
Yeah.
We had two guys at the table. We asked both of them whether they would ever do it. They both said no. That should give you an indication of what it is. But like that for me, I can't fathom.
Yeah,
like that for me is so crazy. And I know that there are going to be people out there who've had one and they probably love it and they, you know, and all that. But for me personally, I go, oh, no, like, what if something goes wrong? You know, think about all of those things. But yeah, I think that's probably like
the craziest
I've seen. Like, I really like tattoos, and I like tattoos that are done well. Now, that is totally subjective.
Yes. Like, what's art?
Yeah, like, so. Exactly. So, but I personally, for me, I love fine line tattoos. Absolutely love fine line tattoos. And I really love just the simple, like, black tattoos. So, I think, and of course, like, the Maori tattoos, the tribal,
they're beautiful
because they have such meaning and, you know, history behind them. I know that's not what they're called, and I apologize if we have any Maoris listening. I'm probably not doing it justice at all, but I have so much respect for it because I think the stories behind them is just so beautiful. So, like, yeah, that's kind of I haven't seen anything super crazy. What about you? Or because yours aren't, like, you haven't done anything super crazy.
No, mine have been quite standard. So, see, I got my ears pierced, 2 holes. See, my hair color has been red. It's been purple, not like fuchsia, but like burgundy and amber and all that, those colors. And then obviously my tattoos they're not massive. They're small tattoos, purely because I can it hurts. It hurts, and I got them one on my foot and one on my ankle, so it's quite nice because obviously they're more for me. They're not for everybody. So I'm whacking the microphone. They're for me, but the one I've seen now, this isn't tattoos or piercings but it's a body modification.
Oh yeah,
it's when they get their tongue split.
Oh, I have seen that actually. Yeah,
that just for me, I'm like, how do you talk? Like.
Yeah, no.
And eating, it would just feel so bizarre.
Yes, I do remember that.
That's one that I've gone, oh, hang on.
Interesting.
That's the one I would not have seen before. Like, but I see people with tattoos, like when they have some people have major, like people have like full back tattoos or like full body tattoos. I'm like, how? Because I've got my 2 little ones.
How did you sit through that? Yeah.
Like, because I did my 2. So my first one I got done for many reasons, but I got it done just after I graduated university. But I got it done for my grandfather. It's a real meaning between my family and for my grandfather, who passed away when I was very young, and I was very, very close with him. And it's a dragonfly, and I was so excited because my first tattoo. I was like, a friend of mine had bless you.
Excuse me.
My friend of mine had drew it. He drew it.
Yep.
And so it was like his hand drawing that's been basically tattooed on me, because they just were like, oh, well, do you want us just to replicate it on? I'm like, yes. And his hand, yes. So it was like his hand. There's so many reasons. I was so happy with it.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful tattoo.
I love it. But the thing is, I went down, I sat down, and my best friend Ellie, who obviously mentioned the channel before, was sat with me. And so I was holding her hand, and obviously you've got to keep your body completely still.
Obviously.
Obviously. Duh. So I had my foot down laying still, and I was concentrating so hard to keep it still, and it was so painful. It was also really funny because the guy who tattooed me was a friend of mine. And so when he's like, this is your, and it was a friend of a friend. And he's like, this is your first tattoo, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, on the foot? I'm like, yeah. He's like, this is gonna hurt coming towards my foot. I'm like,
thanks.
I looked at Ellie like, oh crap, no. But no, so we did it, and I was holding her hand. So give me your hand, Amy. So I was holding it just normal. And as it went on, it wasn't it was 25 minutes. But I started to slowly hold her fingers. So I was holding her thumb with my right hand and holding her pinky with my left hand. And as I was doing it, I started to pull the thumb to the right, and the pinky the other way. I was basically pulling them apart. She's like, Cora, I love you, but can you stop ripping my hand apart? I'm like, sorry. Literally, I was like, because I was in so much pain. And then the second time I got my second tattoo, which is for my mum and my dad and my family again, running theme there. So it's for my family again. And this one it's also a bit of home for me. And my friend, again, my ex had helped me design it, so it was very special for me. And anyway, he came with me to get it done, and he sat with me. And again, obviously, got to be really still. And this one was, again, 20 minutes. It wasn't long because they're not very big tattoos. And I was digging into his arm because I was holding his arm. And I left nail. I actually made him bleed. I cut skin. And I haven't got long nails either. And so he had like ring nail lines in his arm. And like and I bruised them. So he had like my nail imprint bruised in his arm.
Oh my God.
And I made him bleed. And they're like, you're an absolute wuss, Cora. I'm like, yes, I am. And I know, I'm like, I'll never be the peer. And because Dad was like, oh, you're going to have so many now. And I'm like, I won't be that person that gets all these tattoos because no one's going to come with me to get them done because I injure everybody when they come with me.
Everyone's like, no, not happening.
Not happening.
Go get a Sharpie.
It was so funny though. I felt really bad for my ex because it looked like I was abusing him at home, like domestic violence. I'm like, no. She's like, no. She just went and got her tattoo, and I got injured. He got a bit of a tattoo, just bruises. It's been about 6 weeks.
I think it's like coming back to that. You know, obviously your tattoos have so much meaning behind them. I think it's really interesting when we look at this because we obviously all have our own opinions on body art, tattoos, piercings, body modifications. And I think because we form our own opinions, we also form our own, I suppose, judgment or idea around why someone does something. And if there isn't a meaning, you know, do we deem it as bad?
Yeah.
You know, why would you do that to yourself?
I felt like it.
Yeah, it's like, And does it kind of challenge us because it goes, well, I would never do that. And it's like,
but why?
You know, so I was just thinking while we were talking about that, because obviously we've spoken sort of about the more mainstream tattoos, piercings, dyeing hair, that sort of thing. But when we go down the path of like real body modification and, you know, we look at the guy, the real life Ken, who like, or the real life Barbies, like the women who have literally gone through like so many operations to look like Barbie, like a real life Barbie. And we kind of see how insane like our technology is these days.
Yes.
You know, what you actually can do to your body, whether it's right or wrong, whether it's good for you or not. Like there's so many things you can do to your body these days to express yourself. Now, for me personally, I would never go that far, and I personally think it is too far because you are completely changing yourself, and I do somewhat question what's going on internally there. For those extreme cases, that's just my personal opinion, because I do go, okay, well, is there something that's really going on for you internally that you're trying to fix externally? Could be not at all, and could just be like, I have watched interviews with these people, and it's like, oh, I just really love Barbie and I wanted to look exactly like her. I think she's perfect, and I want to have the tiny waist and the big boobs and all of that. But I do question it a little bit.
There is a fine line, I think, because obviously we do crazy things. Like, for example, as we said, like getting our hair dyed. Most people will have some sort of makeover change, like after a breakup, or when they've got or they've started a new relationship, or there's a key moment in their life, which is stemmed from something emotional. It's an emotional moment in their life that is imprinted on them to go, okay, I need to change something about myself. Yeah. How do I do that? Yeah. Because sometimes it can be really hard to mentally change yourself. So it's like, okay, I'll change on the outside before I can work it on the inside. Yeah. And it's that kind of going in to out. And obviously for me, like again, getting my tattoos, I got them done in a very happy time of my life, but it was really good. And it's their iconic ones. But I know friends of mine who have got tattoos done in really tragic times of their lives, and they look back at that and they go, oh, but I couldn't work through the pain then, so I got this tattoo done in that time because I wanted something to change about myself, and they did, and now they've fixed the inside as well, and they look back and go, oh, that's how far I've come. So that I think it's so good that we do have the ability to be able to change ourselves, to be able to show our individuality through body art, through body modification, through like, you know, whatever you're having done. Because at the end of the day, if that's who you are and that's who you see, that's wonderful. But like, you also do think as us as a society, like, we like to hurt ourselves. Why? Like, it's that pain. Like, do we really like that fine line between pain and pleasure? It's definitely there, I think. Because obviously I'm like, who thought of an idea going, I am going to take a needle.
Well, I mean, think about how they actually did it before that.
Oh, it was like, you know, they just like a hammer. It was like, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, like, it's
that comedy section of Disney Moana where the guy is like freaking out, going, ew, ew, ah, ah, like in a lot of pain. It's like, is it almost over? She's like, they've done like one little thing, and it's like, you're almost there.
It's so true. Like, it's crazy.
That would have been painful.
That would have been so painful. So, Cora, I suppose kind of as we come to the end of
the episode,
to start to wrap this up, is there anything that you would like to still do to your body? Is there, obviously you want to do your hair, you want to get your hair done, which is awesome. Would you ever
change? That will always change.
Yeah. Would you ever get your, actually, before I ask you that question, you changing your hair?
Yes.
Is it just something you like to do just because you like to experiment and be creative?
Absolutely. And I think for me, like, when I have my hair done in different ways and stuff, you see different sides of you, like, oh, I look good like that. And it's just, it's showing your creativity, showing your individuality, and just seeing yourself in a different light sometimes. Because sometimes you, like I said, when you get bogged into so many different things, it's like, I can't see the wood from the trees.
Yeah.
But if I change myself in a way, like my hair color, I can like, it's actually,
Let me feel like a new person.
You feel like a new person. It's like rejuvenation. It's like that whole people go to the gym, work out. It's like another way of doing that a little bit. Yeah. And also I get bored really easily, as we all know this channel. So I'm like, I want to change my hair color now. Let's do it.
Well, I mean, I did at one point want to go, so that platinum pink, look, metallic
like peach
pink
color. Yeah. Oh, metallic? No, peach or?
No, it's metallic, like this metallic pinky. It was a few years ago.
Can we ease you into that?
Oh, I'm not doing it.
Oh.
No, I've moved on from that. It was a thought.
A brief thought.
No, honestly, actually, before, I know jumping about a bit, but there is one, the longest thing that has stuck with me, like piercings, I would never get a piercing just because I don't really want one. I had the opportunity when I was 11, and it was like, I can have my ears pierced or I can go fly a plane with my dad because he's got his pilot's license. I thought flying a plane was far more cool than getting my ears pierced. So I went and flew a plane. And I just, honestly, it's really funny because whenever I tell anyone I don't have my ears pierced, the look I get, it's
shock.
Like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like, ever? No, never had my ears pierced. And for me, it's not.
I think it's so standard now. Every girl goes to get ears pierced. Yeah. When they're younger, they get their ears pierced.
Yeah.
And so to see someone who has not got their ears pierced, I think also earrings are so part of a woman's jewelry that I think to have someone who hasn't got their ears pierced, like,
what?
Because I remember when we were getting ready, when we first started hanging out, getting ready to go out to this club, and you went, do I look good? I'm like, yeah. But I went, I think you need some earrings. I'll go grab some. So I already got my hoops. And you went, I have my ears pierced. Like, hanging back, went, wait. And I was like, wait, what? She's like, I've got my ears pierced. I'm like, very funny. Come on. She's like, no, seriously. Look. I'm like,
she's like, there's no hole.
I don't think I actually went, do you want to?
Yeah, she did. And in fact, it's quite funny because both Cora and Nikki, for my birthday, one of the presents they got me was a voucher to get my ears pierced. That didn't happen. I don't know why you thought that was a good idea. Like, wishful thinking, ladies. The amount of people who have tried to get me to pierce my ears. Yeah. Like, my girlfriends, especially when, like, a number of years ago now, when we'd go out drinking or we'd be drinking at home, it's like, oh, let's pierce your ears, like in Parent Trap. I'm like, no thanks.
That hurt, remember?
Yeah. Or my ex for my birthday one year, he was like, oh, let's go out. I'm going to go out and we're going to, you know, get your birthday present. We walked into a piercing shop and I was like, oh, okay. And I started looking at the piercings. And I'm like, yeah, I'd like to think about it. And I walked back out and never went back. Like so many people have tried to get me to pierce my ears. And it's not, and people go, oh, it's not going to hurt. Like it's just
not the pain.
And I'm like, I just don't really want them pierced. There are moments, don't get me wrong, where I look at, like when you're wearing hoops or you're wearing really gorgeous earrings, or Claire's like all dolled up and she's got gorgeous earrings, I do look at it and I go, oh, I think that would look really nice. Or if I have my hair like in an updo and I feel like some nice earrings would look really good. But then that moment passes and I go, well, moving on with my life. I'm not going to get my ears pierced. But the one thing that has stuck with me, and I don't think I'll ever get it done, but it is one tattoo. And I designed it when I was 16 and it was out of a place of pain.
Yeah.
And it was just the word believe. That was all it was. It was just believe. And it was going to go right here on my wrist, on my left wrist. And it was either going to go straight across or just down the side.
On the inside wrist, yeah.
On the inside of my wrist. And I designed that tattoo over and over and over again. I played with it for years. Like that was 11 years ago. And I never got it done. And I don't think I ever will because I don't need it anymore. But it was just the going through the process for me of designing it and going, like I even, you know, I was taking pens, I was drawing it on my wrist, you know. But I never got it done and I don't think I would because it's not something I need anymore.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing, the only time that I've come close to going, yeah, I could get a tattoo.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I don't know. It's not that I don't like them because I really like tattoos. As I said, like I really like them. Sam has a tattoo on his, on the side of his body. I really love it. He doesn't like it. I really love it. Like I just think it looks really great. And so it's not that I don't appreciate it or I don't like it or it's like I would never do that to my body. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
And that's my way of expressing myself, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah, you're expressing it by not putting it on you. Like I express it through my hair color changes or my tattoos, because especially I've been dating guys like, oh, do you have tattoos? I'm like, yeah. Like, oh, what do you have? And so I say, oh, I have dragonfly, and they're like, oh, what's that for? And I'm like, what's for? And I tell them the story, and they're like, oh, that's really, and they go, and then when they hear the other, like, oh, wow, so family's really important to you. And I'm like, yeah. So straight away, they know one of my key values through me telling stories of my tattoos, because that represents one of my key values of who I am. But you have it the other way. It's like you representing your individuality and your personality by not getting stuff done. So it does work both ways, I think.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's really cool. Like, I think we could go on for this topic forever, but we're not going to. We're going to wrap it up.
What was the question you wanted to ask me?
Oh, yes. Is there anything else that you would do? Any other piercing you would get for your body? Any, like, obviously you're going to dye your hair a million times.
Yes.
I'm probably going to dye it once. And but is there anything else that you would do? Because I know you said you always wanted 2 tattoos.
I did,
that was
yes.
what you decided.
That's what I have.
Is there anything else that you would ever do to your body?
Yeah. So I mean, piercing wise, I probably would get the top of my ear done again, because I got that done and I got infected, so I had to get it cut out, and so I overgrew. But I did like it.
See, why would you do that?
Yeah, it wasn't great, but I did actually really like it on me, so I probably would get that done again. So I would probably get that done as piercing. I had 2 holes, because I had double piercing on my ears, but I didn't wear enough earrings, and the earrings I had were anyway. So they've closed up, but I think I want to get those re-pierced as well. So I would probably get my double hole re-pierced and my top thing re-pierced. I do want to get that done. I did contemplate getting a nose piercing.
Oh yeah, I thought about it for
time.
like 5 seconds.
I thought about it as well, and I've spoken to people like, oh, it's so hard to clean, this so annoying. I'm like, okay, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah,
I'm not good at keeping what's the word? Upkeep. I'm not good at maintenance. So no. But in terms of tattoos, like I said, I've always only wanted 2. There is one more recently that's been coming into my brain that I'm thinking of getting. And I understand why I want to get it, but what I want to get is changing. So the meaning behind it is obviously because I've gone through a massive change in my life, and I was shattered and I was broken, and I had no self-esteem and no self-worth, and I picked myself out of got my heart smashed and broken, and I became broken, and I fixed myself up. So I wanted to get something to represent being broken and building yourself back up again, together again.
Oh wow, yeah, that's powerful.
So I wanted to get something like that on my ribs. Getting all
I was going to say, yeah, you really like the painful bits, don't you? Well, thing is, ankle, foot, ribs.
Well, obviously I can't put any more on my feet because I've got two there already. They're used up. But also, if I put it on my back, I can't see it or appreciate it. And also, I like the fact that obviously, you know, for work for me, because I think people do judge when they see tattoos. I don't want to put it's already hard enough being a woman in office work. I don't want office work, but in an office, in a corporate life, it's really hard being a woman already. So I don't want to add to that more difficulty. So I would put it in places I can hide. So that's why the next kind of place would be ribs that I kind of like. And I feel like it's where I feel comfortable with it, even though, yes, it would hurt like a bitch. But I don't know how to represent that yet. Okay. So I thought about having it as like shattered glass, and then say and have never again, kind of written in there. I've had ones where like the idea of, so I'm just thinking of different ways of representing it for me that's right for me, and I haven't found it yet. So we'll see. And like I said, the ones I got, like you, I drew on me in different places of my body to see if I'd like it. I went through multiple kind of iterations of tattoos because you have to be like, I love that, and I adore both my tattoos. Like I look at them and they make me smile every day, and I'm like, yes, that makes me happy. I mean, one of them I wish was a little bit smaller, but obviously because skin changes in grades to keep the shape of the tattoo, it had to be a certain size, which I didn't know this. So like everyone has smaller tattoos, and they're like, yeah, they'll be blobs when you get older. So you do think about that. So there's one I would have preferred smaller, but I still love both of them. But yeah, so I probably would get that as a tattoo, but I haven't worked out what yet. Yeah. So it's
work in progress.
So it's a work in progress. Watch this space. I might, because a part of me is like, oh, I don't need to represent that because I know I've done it. Like mentally I've done it. So why do I need to get it on me? But it's like that reminder sometimes when you're in a really low place and you can't see, like I said, you can't see the wood from the trees. Having that reminder on you is like, okay, I've been there and I've done it and I can keep going. So I haven't quite worked out what it is yet, but we'll see.
Exciting.
If I ever do get it done, we'll vlog it because it'll be absolutely hysterical.
Oh yeah, I'll be the person. Yep,
you'll be the injury.
Your hand. Yay.
We can take a poll on what do you think the injury is going to be. The predictions. What will the injury be?
Hands.
So I've almost broken my friend's hand. Gave my ex-boyfriend bruises. So what will happen to Naomi if she comes with me? So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's it. Well, guys, thanks again for watching.
Thank you.
Do not forget, if you're watching on YouTube, to subscribe. Yes. Also ring that notification bell so you don't miss any other episodes we post. And don't forget to hit the like button as well. If you are listening on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcast, whatever you're listening on, Apple Podcasts, yeah. Yes. Those are the right ones. Don't forget to give this a follow and a review as well. We'd love to know what you guys' thoughts and opinions are on everything.
Absolutely. And of course, as always, follow us on our socials at Same Hear Me Too on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok for a whole mix of things, staying up to date with us, and of course funny videos because that's what we do. So yeah, of course, if you've got any ideas, topics, opinions, questions, please send them through to us. Send us a DM and we, of course, will discuss it or we'll get back to you. We do reply to everybody who reaches out to us. And
and we love talking to you guys. So we love hearing about your stories and kind of realizing that whole you're not alone of people going,
yes,
oh, I've been there.
Me too.
Yeah, I've been here. I've been there. It's like, oh, okay. So yeah, definitely send us a DM. All right, everyone. That's
Thanks
enough
so
from
much.
us. Bye.
Bye.
That was a very delayed wave. I don't know what that was either. Bye.